Hey guys, so today it is time for my monthly Shop My Stash. This is where we go through my makeup collection together and pick out a full face of makeup. And especially gonna try to use some of the products that I talked about in my products I haven't used in months video, which I can link for you if you missed it. But lately I've been liking starting down here with my palettes and then kind of going from there, rather than starting at the top and going down, just because I feel like the eyeshadow palette kind of dictates a lot about the look. So I did talk about this palette in my products I haven't used in months video. And you know what, looking at this, I was thinking maybe I didn't want to use this today, but looking at it more closely, even though I normally do think of this as a winter palette, there are a lot of like beautiful tones in here for fall too. Actually, yeah, let's grab this one. I think this will be nice. All right, so jumping up here to my base products, I actually think I want to try my Pacifica Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer as a foundation, and maybe mix that with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Dewdrops, because this makes a really great mixer. I used to mix this with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer to use it as a foundation, and so I'm thinking that might be a pretty combo. Let's just try it. I've never tried it before, so I think this will be a good time to try that and also get some use out of this concealer, because like I mentioned in that video, I have not used that in quite a while. And then for concealer, since I don't really like that one for the under eyes, I'm going to grab my Milani Conceal and Perfect because I'm kind of trying to use this up unofficially. And I'm actually also going to grab from this top drawer here. This is kind of like my everyday makeup drawer with Project Pan items, just everyday use products. But I'm going to grab my Kopari Starry Eye Balm because that really helps this Milani concealer not look as dry as the desert on my under eyes. So that's what I've been doing lately with this concealer. So kind of a weird combo for the base, but let's hope that all works. For primer, this drawer is a mess, I need to organize it, but I've actually really been enjoying this little mini of the Smashbox Vitamin Glow primer. This is actually really pretty, so I'm gonna try this underneath that concealer slash serum foundation. I also have my NYX Angel Veil, but I don't want to have too many variables going on, and sometimes this makes my skin look more dry, so I'm not going to mess with that today. So from this drawer, I'm going to go ahead and grab my powder and also this Supergoop Shimmer Shade SPF eyeshadow. A lot of you guys were saying that I should start using this as like my eyeshadow base because this expires in February and I really want to get some more use out of it. So I'm going to try that today as well. And then I'm going to also grab my eye primer. Just been using the Urban Decay Primer Potion and just been using some combination of these mascaras lately. The Ilia one I'll use on my top lashes and the CoverGirl one I'll use on my bottom lashes because this is the only one that doesn't smudge on my bottom lashes. I'm also going to just grab my brow pomade and my brow gel. Also going to grab my Franken Bronzer that I'll use as my bronzer. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I've been making a lot of progress on this month, so I just want to keep the momentum going on that. All right, and for now, I think that's it for this drawer. I might come back to this, but I do want to take a peek into some of these other drawers. So this is my cream cheek drawer, and then I also have a powder drawer. Lately, I feel like in the fall is when I start getting into more powder products. So let's just lean into that right now. Actually really been into this blush from E.L.F. This is their bite-sized cheek duo in Lychee. It's a really nice kind of spicy brownish pink blush. So I think that's really pretty for the fall, and I think that'll look nice with the Shared Planet palette. And then for my highlighter, actually thinking I'm gonna grab my Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo in Subtle Sunrise. I almost decluttered this in my last declutter video, but lately I've been loving it and I'm really glad I didn't get rid of it because this is beautiful. So let's use this. This way we have two options. Well, really three, because I could use one or the other or mix them. So depending on just how the look ends up going, it's nice to have like a duo of highlighters to pick from. All right, so here I have lip products. I did mention a few different lip products in my video about neglected makeup, but one of them I actually did use recently, the Nude by Nature gloss, so I'm not going to use that today. Another one was this liquid lip from Physicians Formula. I think this is a little bit too bright red for today's look. I might actually just go ahead and go with my, is this the right one? My Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Liar has been one of my favorites recently for fall. And also my Mented Peach Lip Pencil. This duo is just so perfect. So kind of thinking I'm going to be boring and just pick these. Actually, for the sake of using some of those neglected products, I am going to take out my Undone Beauty gloss in Watercolor Rose. This is really a clear gloss, but I think this might be pretty just dabbed on top of that lipstick to give it a little bit of shine. So let's go ahead and use that. And then here I have my eyeliners. I think I am actually going to pull out my Urban Decay 24/7 eye pencil in Roxy. Yeah, let's try to do a look using this, just because this does not get enough love for me. All right, so that is everything. Really curious to see how that foundation works. I am really hoping that it works well. I feel like it could either be really bad or really good, so let's just hope for the best. But yeah, I think that is everything. So let's go ahead and put these on my face. All right, so starting out with this combination of the Glow Recipe Dewdrops and the Pacifica Liquid Cover Concealer. Very curious to see how this goes. I have tried this concealer once as a foundation, and I remember really liking it, so I think I'll mix this on the back of my hand for now, just so I can get a nice controlled amount. I just did like 2 applicators worth of that concealer on the back of my hand, and then I'm just gonna do like 1, maybe even like half a pump of this. There's that. And then I'm just going to mix them together. This does look like a good shade match for my skin. And like I said, this is what I was doing a lot with the Too Faced concealer, and I really liked that combo. So let's hope this works well. I recently had to pop this zit. Well, I didn't have to, but it needed to be popped, okay? It was looking kind of gnarly, so hopefully this won't look too weird over that. All right, so that is very light coverage, very light. I'm probably gonna need a lot more. Okay, so that is 1 layer, and it looks like I'm not wearing any foundation. And like not in a good way. Like it looks like I have no coverage at all, and I was definitely hoping for some coverage. So I'm just gonna kind of paint some on, because I do want coverage here. And then I'm just gonna take another like half a pump of this and kind of dot that around. All right, let's try that. It doesn't look bad, I just feel like it's hardly giving me any coverage. And like I could try to build up more without any of the, let's just try for the sake of science to build this up a little bit more on the areas where I want more. And just see how much I can get the coverage built up. This may just be the kind of concealer I wear when I want like very light coverage foundation. Well, actually that is a little bit better. I normally feel like this when I wear this on my under eyes, it disappears within like an hour and like all the coverage is gone. So we'll see how it wears on my face. All right, so moving on to the under eyes, I'm gonna take just the tiniest dab of this Kapari Starry Eye Balm, like a very small amount. And I'm just dabbing that all across my under eyes. You don't want too much because then your concealer is going to slide around. You just want enough to hydrate the area and kind of smooth it out to prep for the concealer. I'm just going to go in with that concealer. Oh, well, I completely forgot to use the Smashbox primer, so I'll have to try that another time. But oh well, that gives us an even better feel of like how this concealer works as a foundation even just on its own. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my face because I'm not using any cream products today, only powder cheek products. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes and my face with the Jordana Forever Flawless Pressed Powder, which I am trying to use up right now. Ooh, you know what? I'm actually gonna do highlighter, blush, and bronzer in that order. Normally I do bronzer, blush, then highlighter, but sometimes I like to switch it up because I feel like it just looks more seamless. That's a tip that you guys shared with me in a video I did a few months ago, trying like some of your makeup techniques. And I try to remember to do that as often as I can because I do feel like it makes a difference. So I'm going to start with highlighter. This is the Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duo, and I'm just going to do a mix of both. This is such a pretty highlighter. Yeah, I'm not in love with how my base is looking. It's definitely not looking horrible, but I almost feel like I should have just worn the concealer on its own and not even mixed it with this, because this concealer is so like light coverage as it is for me that I don't really need to dilute the coverage at all. So I think next time I'll just use the concealer by itself with maybe like a nice hydrating primer, like the Vitamin Glow primer that I forgot to use today. I think that would make a pretty combination, but for some reason, I'm just not obsessed with it today. Even though it's not bad, I don't know, I'm just not Part of it's also that my skin has been breaking out. That also makes me like a little bit less happy with the way everything looks on my skin. For blush, I'm just gonna do the matte side of this blush today, this E.L.F. Duo in Lychee, and I am gonna mix that with a little bit of my face powder just because this is kind of a slightly deep color on me, and mixing it with powder helps it just blend in a little bit more easily. All right, next for my Franken Bronzer, this I've also been mixing with my face powder because again, it's a little bit dark. Just gonna take it there and then all the way up to the forehead. And I love this brush for bronzer. This is the EcoTools Full Powder Brush. It's just such a nice, big, fluffy brush. But it's not too dense, but it's also not too diffused either. It's just the perfect consistency for this. All right, I do kind of want a little more highlighter. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I just need more. Like it didn't show up very much. I'm gonna use my Real Techniques setting brush and just add a little bit more. I don't know why, I feel like highlighter's not showing up on me today. What's that all about? Are you guys seeing it? Is this like foundation situation, like eating my highlighter? There it is. I don't know why. I just felt like it wasn't showing up. It's weird because normally this does show up. I don't know. I'm struggling today. I feel like this look is not turning out how I wanted. I'm not happy with my face makeup. All right, then I am just gonna take my fluffier highlighter brush with nothing else on it and just blend over that, just because I feel like that helps it really blend in. All right, so I feel like now that that's all on there, it's looking better. I'm a little bit happier with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids with that Urban Decay Primer Potion, and then I'm going to fill in my brows. I can't believe we're already halfway through October, but I did mention this, I think, on my Instagram stories a couple months ago, but I am planning on doing Vlogmas again this year, and I'm actually thinking about going ahead and pre-filming, like starting at least in November, if not even maybe a little bit this month, because yeah, I'm really excited. I'm planning on doing it the same way I did last year, where I posted every day in December, so 31 videos in December. I thought about maybe cutting it off on Christmas and just doing 25 days in a row, but I think I can pull off the 31 days again this year, especially because last year I did that with a full-time job outside of YouTube. So if I could do it then, I can definitely do it now. But also last year I didn't decide that I was doing it until like the end of November. And so somehow I did that. I don't know exactly how I did it, but I think this year with even more preparation, I already have like my list of most of my videos already planned out for December. So I think it should be much easier this year. So anyway, I'm excited. Are you guys excited? It was just so much fun last year, like so much more fun than I expected. Like it was obviously a lot of work, but it was so fun getting to interact with you guys every single day of the month. And there's just so many end of the year videos and content ideas for December anyway, so I feel like it just makes sense to upload a lot in December. And also, AdSense revenue is higher, so there you go. There's another incentive. It's crazy to think that I'm probably going to start pre-filming for that soon because it's coming up. It's going to be here before we know it. All right, so getting into the eyes, like I said, I do want to make sure that I use my Urban Decay blue pencil liner in Roxy. It's like a metallic blue liner, really pretty. First, I am going to apply some of my Supergoop shimmer shade. I have the shade Dreamer as my base. I'm gonna try to start doing this every day. This doesn't work well as an eyelid primer. Like you definitely need a primer underneath this because this will crease if this is all you're wearing. But it does make a nice like cream shadow base. So from there I am just going to set from the crease up with my face powder. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start out with the shade Cub here. It's this nice like light beige transition color, and this shade always ends up looking kind of rosy on my eyes, which I love. All right, so I think I want to take the shade Prism here. It's like this taupey shimmer, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid. And I'm applying that all the way from the inner to the outer corner. That shimmer looks pretty, especially over the Supergoop shadow. I feel like it almost lightens it up a bit. All right, I do want to deepen this up a little bit with the gray here. This shade is called Chili. It's like a nice charcoal gray. Just taking a Real Techniques shading brush. It's kind of a small detail brush, and I'm just going to pack that on my outer corner. So That looks kind of messy. I'm just going to take my crease brush again and start to blend that a little bit. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit more of Cub. Just kind of diffuse that. Alright, then I'm going to take some of that same gray shade and smudge that on my lower lash line with that same Real Techniques brush. Alright, well, that ended up a little bit more dramatic than I meant for it to, but I'm just going to go over that with a little bit of powder. On my inner corner, I actually want to take this duochrome like white-blue shade called Polar and have that be my inner corner highlight because I think that's going to kind of tie the look in with the blue liner. It's a really pretty, like, icy shade. I'm actually going to pull that into my lid a little bit, kind of into the crease. Alright, so let's go ahead and apply this blue liner. I hope this look comes together. I'm not so sure about it. Just going to glide that all across the upper lash line. And I'm just taking an angled brush and winging that out. Not totally sure that I like this. I feel like the eye look turned out a little too rosy for the blue. I'm almost wondering, should I go ahead and top like the whole thing with Polar? I just feel like the look is too like grayish rosy. Alright, I might regret this, but I'm gonna go ahead and try topping the whole lid with this Polar shade. I don't know. Wish me luck here. Because this really is a nice topper shade. It's kind of sheer. Do some brow gel really quick with my Jordana Feather Brow. Just kind of set those into place. I'm really hoping that my mascara will pull this together. Please. I actually think I'm going to leave my lower lashes bare. I'm not going to apply my CoverGirl brown mascara to those. I'm just going to leave that as is. Okay, I do think that looks better. Let me try on this lipstick actually without the Mented Peach Lip Pencil because I think that might make it a little too warm for this look, but let's just try this on its own. I might end up deciding to use a different lipstick. I think that's a little bit too warm. I'm thinking what might be pretty is a combination of this Jordana lip liner in Rock and Rose. I'm gonna like fill in my lips almost all the way with this, and then I'm gonna go into the middle with my E.L.F. Seriously Satin Lipstick in Cream, which is this nice light nude. And then I'll top that with my Undone gloss. I'm just going to dab some of this gloss onto my lips. I don't want to mix my lip color onto there, so I'm just going to apply it with my finger. Alright, so there's the finished look. I went ahead and curled my hair really quickly to kind of just tie it all together. But now that it's all done, I actually don't mind it. I think it's pretty. I wasn't so sure about the eye look, but I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. It's definitely very wintry. Very like frosty and like blue, gray, and icy. But I do think it all kind of came together nicely. It's a very... I don't know, it's a very unique look. I like it though. And I do think this kind of slightly cooler toned nude lip goes really well with it. And honestly, even though I was complaining a lot about my base, I do feel like that turned out looking pretty decent too. Yeah, I think in the future I would just use this on its own and not mix it with anything because I don't want to like take down the coverage anymore than what this already offers, but I don't think it looks bad. It's kind of just like the skin-like satin finish. I'll definitely either add like a note here on the screen or in a pinned comment to let you guys know how it wore by the end of the day. I am filming this at like 5 o'clock, so I won't have like a full day's wear test, but I'll probably take off my makeup at like 11 or something, so we can get a good like 6 hours. I can just let you guys know how that wore. But that is it for this month's Shop My Stash. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. I'd love to see you again very soon, and hopefully I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!